the next update, 1.2, we are going to probably be getting Shang Liao for free. In order for the Xiaoye Festival to be held smoothly, you and Shang Liao must realize the wishes of others while also promoting the preparations for the festival a little bit. Looking for the true heart of the wish, sometimes you will encounter problems. It doesn't matter, as you said, there has always been a bond between people, and they support each other to move forward. We have established such a connection since we started walking together in the Moon Tree House. Explore the truth, Hoshino. Listen to the hustle and bustle of the crowd. I'm very happy to experience all this with you. If the popularity value of the Moon Chasing Festival reaches 6,000, you can get a 5-star character, Shang Liao. So there will be an event. It could also possibly be a server-wide multiplayer-esque event where everyone's trying to get a certain amount of points, but I believe that this is just going to be the popularity value of the event individually, where you get the 5-star character Shang Liao. This is big because Shang Liao's probably going to power creep Calcharo. There is not particularly a good weapon for him, although obviously in the banner he's going to have his own weapon. But he's probably going to power creep Calcharo. I would love, personally, if he fit right in between. Because you get Calcharo on two ends, easy and difficult. 2 Death Messenger, 3 Death Messenger, and his DPS is drastically different. It's a 1.5 times damage boost to getting that 3rd Death Messenger, pretty much, right? I would love if his damage was right in between 2 and 3 Death Messenger Calcharo, so that a good Calcharo could still stay at, meta. But Shang Liao is much, much easier and more consistent to play into bosses, right? Because Calcharo's main issue is that to get the max damage output, you have to be, the boss has to be broken, basically, so that you can do your full combo chain uninterrupted. Either that or we get some sort of a Zhongli-esque character coming out where you get a bunch of anti-interruption and a shield so that you can just kind of fight through any bosses or enemies hitting you. That is the biggest issue with Calcharo right now. Otherwise, he has some of the highest damage output in the game, and with Yinlin's outro, he does have the highest damage output in the game, should he be able to do his full combo chain uninterrupted. Problem is that doesn't happen very often, and even then some people struggle to get 2 Death Messengers out because the enemy keeps interrupting you. Shang Liao I would love to see be about on par between 2 Death Messenger and 3 Death Messenger Calcharo, so that Calcharo could still be very, very, very good and a better pick should you be very good at him circumstantially, but Shang Liao still has a place and is still basically considered, he would still be considered a better DPS than Calcharo just because he's easier to do, right? Supposedly, right? He might be very difficult, but if I'm assuming he's going to be easier to play, which is why he's being released for free. So it would be cool if he was right in between that level with Calcharo. I think that would make Calcharo stay prevalent and make Shang Liao very useful for other players who don't want to build Calcharo, don't have Calcharo, or cannot play him properly, right? So that is where I'm hoping he's going to be. We do also have some gameplay for the next 1.2 characters, Shang Liao and Jeji. Animations as well as some gameplay, again, like fighting an enemy. So we have Shang Liao animations right here that we can go ahead and take a peek at. So he does a punch chain that ends in a blast, right? That's that sound we heard when we were listening to the sound effects. We don't get to see what his ultimate does, but we can see in another video here. And then here is Jeji. Yeah, it's definitely the Mega Man arm. Jeji, I really like this character's design, actually. The more and more I see of this character, the more I want to pull for. Just because Glacio sub DPS and sub DPSs tend to not get power crept for as long as main DPSs. Also supports Jinshi, is also very cute, right? And I really like the style with the painting and everything. They are very bouncy as well. A very bouncy, kind of floaty character. Not as paint based as I thought she would be. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that there wasn't just a bunch of colors and paint getting splattered everywhere. But it does a pretty good job. It's not a messy paint, it's a very articulate paint, which I kind of respect. So in here, we can also see against the target and against the target. So you just basically same kind of fists, a little slower than Yonwoo, you notice, but attacks almost as if he has a sword with the slashes and stuff that happens when he punches. Seems very, very fast as well. I'm assuming too, because of this character's speed and it seems like he's relatively flexible, that he's going to just be the easier Electro DPS option for everybody. So should you play or not play Calcharo, this guy's probably going to be the better pick. Again, I do hope that his damage output is not just outright better than Calcharo. I hope he's in between, where he's a better option majority of the time, but a really brokenly good Calcharo player can make Calcharo work better. Wow, this one's way louder. This skin for him because his design's even worse than Calcharo. Yeah, kinda. So something about Zheji gets her enhanced basic attacks. Now, I'm assuming Zheji, the way that she's going to play is this. Zheji is largely going to be a on-field damage dealer. She does coordinated attacks, but she does them with herself. And it seems that they're based on her ult. I could be wrong. It could be Forte and all these other things. But I'm getting the vibe that Zheji is going to be a on-field sub-DPS coordinated attacker who's going to be on field doing her thing, dealing good damage, and then switching out with her outro into Jinshi. And Jinshi kind of takes the role of, she's still the main DPS, but she's more so the sub-DPS than Zheji, is my thought. Because Jinshi does not need to be the main field time. She's very quick on rotation and has a lot of damage. Jinshi, I feel like, should be considered a nuclear burst sub DPS, right? A cleaving sub DPS. Zheji feels like the main DPS of that comp. And for other Glacio comps, a sub DPS in the way that like Changli and Encore are going to be, where you're switching between them two. So almost like a dual DPS comp, right? That's where I think Zheji is going to end up being on that team comp. Overall, I think both characters look pretty sick. Shang Liao's design is kind of rough, unfortunately, although I would like to see where that design kind of came from, because right now it's like really boring and they haven't really done that for anybody in the game yet. So I want to know kind of what the lore of the character is that makes him kind of so bland. But Zheji's super dope. She's a very, very cool character. Design, the attack, the flowiness, everything's really nice. Thematically, it does not make sense outside of the research building. So I can imagine maybe he's just so researchy that that's just how it is. But that being said, the 1.2 characters look super promising. We get one for free, which gives everybody a solid enough DPS that even without Yinlin, that DPS should be able to clear a majority of the content. Because, I mean, even Calcharo alone can clear most of the content if you are good at Calcharo and build him properly. And Zheji gives everybody a really cool Glacio. I want to say she can be played as a main DPS for right now. I want to assume that she's going to be the Glacio, like the best Glacio main DPS for a while as well, because we just don't have one. Ling Yang is just not it. And Sanhua can't be a main DPS because her kit has too much of a cooldown for her damage output. So I'm assuming she's going to be the main DPS, the sub DPS, the dual DPS, and like somewhat the support, just because her outro, not that like the outro dictates whether she's a support or not, but you never know. She's got flowers and stuff on her rectifier. Maybe she does. I would love seeing Zheji scale off HP. We don't really have a HP scaler other than Baiju, and it's very loose. We don't have a HP damage scaler, basically. I would love to see the enhanced basics of Jeji be scaled off of a different stat, HP or something, because that would actually be really cool. But it's probably not going to happen. Not this early, maybe not this character, but it would be kind of cool. But overall, I think these characters look great. I'm super excited for 1.2, super excited for 1.3 as well, with the some of the leaks coming out for there. I can't say for sure if any of them are legit or not, but they look really promising if they are. Overall, these next couple updates are just going to be pretty fire. I'm really excited for them. But that's going to be it for this video. Have a good one, and stay excited for what is to come, because we got Chain Link coming up real soon, and 1.2 close behind it.